Nikola Tesla, a man whose name is still synonymous with innovation, genius, and electricity, passed away in obscurity, penniless and alone, in a modest hotel room in New York City. His legacy, however, remains immeasurable. Tesla was a brilliant inventor whose ideas helped shape the technological landscape of the 20th century and beyond. Despite this, his life was marked by personal struggles, financial ruin, and the failure to gain the recognition he so deeply deserved. Today, we explore the story of Tesla, a man who gave the world the gift of alternating current, AC, and yet died largely forgotten. The birth of a genius. Nikola Tesla was born on July 9, 1856, in the small village of Smiljan, which was part of the Austrian Empire, modern-day Croatia. His birth occurred during a powerful lightning storm, an event that the local midwife saw as a bad omen. She even declared that the child would be a child of darkness. Tesla's mother, however, disagreed, responding that her son would be a child of light. In retrospect, this statement turned out to be prophetic, as Tesla would indeed grow to harness the power of light and electricity in ways that were beyond the imagination of his contemporaries. From an early age, Tesla exhibited extraordinary mental abilities. His photographic memory allowed him to recall entire books and images with ease, and his intellect was so advanced that his teachers often assumed he must be cheating on his assignments. His fascination with electricity started as a young boy, experimenting with static electricity and trying to understand the nature of light and energy. Early tragedy and mental struggles. Tesla's childhood, however, was marred by a personal tragedy that would haunt him for the rest of his life. In 1863, when Tesla was just 7 years old, his older brother, Dane, was killed in a horseback riding accident. The death profoundly affected Tesla, and it is believed that this traumatic event contributed to the development of some of his mental struggles, including vivid hallucinations and a powerful imagination that sometimes blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. As Tesla grew older, he began to exhibit certain peculiar behaviors. He developed a series of phobias, including a dislike of women wearing pearls, and an obsession with cleanliness and order. He would count his steps and measure the exact volume of his food before eating. These behaviors, while odd, were signs of the intensity and complexity of his mind. The journey to engineering. Tesla's brilliance eventually led him to pursue formal education in engineering, despite his father's initial desire for him to follow in his own footsteps and become a priest. At 17, Tesla contracted cholera, which nearly claimed his life. His father, fearing for his son's survival, promised that if Nikola recovered, he would be allowed to study engineering at a university. After a lengthy recovery, Tesla's father kept his promise and sent him to the prestigious Austrian Polytechnic in Graz. At the Polytechnic, Tesla excelled academically. He studied relentlessly, often staying up for days at a time, fueled by a passion for learning. However, despite his academic success, Tesla soon clashed with the faculty, particularly over his theories regarding electrical engineering. Tesla's belief in alternating current, AC, as a superior system for transmitting electricity was dismissed by his professors, who supported the prevailing theory of direct current, DC, championed by Thomas Edison. Despite the conflict with his professors, Tesla continued to refine his ideas. However, his obsession with studying and his inability to manage his personal life eventually led to his downfall at school. By his third year, Tesla's grades had plummeted, and he had lost his scholarship. He dropped out of university and wandered for a time, struggling with personal vices and engaging in gambling at pubs in Slovenia. His life seemed aimless until fate intervened. A new beginning in America. After being deported from Slovenia for his gambling debts, Tesla returned to his home in Croatia before making his way to Paris in 1882. It was in Paris that Tesla found work with the Continental Edison Company, a division of Thomas Edison's empire. Tesla quickly proved himself as a skilled engineer, but his true genius would take him to America, where he arrived in 1884. In the United States, Tesla worked for Edison briefly but soon found himself at odds with his employer. Edison was a staunch advocate of DC power, while Tesla believed that AC was the future. The two men's rivalry became legendary, with Edison even resorting to public demonstrations to discredit AC power. Despite these efforts, Tesla's ideas eventually triumphed. In 1887, he developed the first practical AC induction motor, a groundbreaking invention that would change the world. Tesla's AC motor worked by using a rotating magnetic field to convert alternating current into mechanical energy. This innovation led to the creation of the first electrical grid in North America, a system that powered homes and industries with the efficiency that DC could not match. Tesla's other contributions included the development of hydroelectric power systems, the most notable being his work on the hydroelectric plant at Niagara Falls, which still operates today. The war of currents and Tesla's struggles. The late 19th century was a time of fierce competition among inventors and businessmen, and Tesla found himself embroiled in the so-called war of currents. Edison, who had a vested interest in DC power, waged a public relations campaign to undermine AC, even going so far as to publicly electrocute animals to demonstrate the dangers of Tesla's technology. Despite Edison's attacks, Tesla's AC system ultimately prevailed, especially after the successful implementation of the Niagara Falls hydroelectric plant. Although Tesla's contributions to the electrical revolution were monumental, he struggled with financial stability throughout his life. He was not a businessman like Edison, and his ideas were often ahead of their time. Tesla's lack of financial acumen led to a series of failed ventures and lost patents. He was also known for his eccentric behavior and difficult personality, which further hindered his ability to gain the respect and wealth he deserved. In 1901, Tesla began work on his most ambitious project yet, the Wardenclyffe Tower, which he believed would be able to transmit wireless electricity across vast distances. However, the project ran out of funding, and Tesla was unable to complete it. As his financial situation worsened, Tesla became more reclusive, living in poverty for the last years of his life. The end of an era. Nikola Tesla died on January 7, 1943, at the age of 86. He spent his final years living in obscurity, having lost much of the wealth and recognition he had once been poised to receive. Despite his early contributions to the electrical industry, he had become a forgotten man. He died alone in his hotel room, his once brilliant mind and remarkable inventions no longer celebrated. Today, Nikola Tesla is regarded as one of the most important inventors in history, and his work continues to influence the modern world. His ideas about alternating current, wireless transmission of energy, and his numerous inventions have left an indelible mark on science and technology. While his life was filled with tragedy and struggle, the legacy of Nikola Tesla lives on, lighting the way for future generations of innovators. In the end, Tesla's story is one of both brilliance and tragedy. He was a man ahead of his time, whose genius was often unrecognized, but whose contributions continue to shape the world in ways he could never have imagined. His life reminds us that even the greatest minds can face adversity, but their legacies can endure long after their time has passed.